Let's be real for a second. When we talk about getting pregnant, the conversation often feels, well, a little one-sided, right? But what if I told you there's a massive, often overlooked piece of the puzzle? Today, we're diving into the Male Fertility Playbook, a clear, actionable game plan to get you and your partner on the very same page. So let's jump right in. Okay, let's start with a number that should stop everyone in their tracks. 50%. According to fertility expert Dr. Natalie Crawford, in a full half of all infertility cases, male factors are involved. That's not a small fraction, folks. It's half the entire equation. And it's a part of the story that we absolutely have to start talking more about. This quote right here really sets the stage for everything we're about to cover. It's just perfect. It's not about blame, it's not about pointing fingers, it's about collaboration. Getting pregnant is a shared mission, and truly understanding how both partners can contribute, well, that's the key to the whole game. So here's our roadmap. First, we're going to really hammer home this idea of fertility as a team sport. Then we'll dive into the science of the 90-day sperm cycle. And trust me, this is your window of opportunity. After that, we'll break down 6 key lifestyle factors you can actually address, like right now. And finally, we'll wrap it all up into a proactive game plan. Okay, let's start with this foundational idea. For far too long, the physical, the emotional, the entire weight of trying to conceive has fallen way too heavily on just one partner. But the biology tells a completely different story. It's a shared journey from the absolute beginning. Dr. Crawford often hears from women who feel unsupported. And it's not because their partners don't care. It's usually because they just don't know what to do. This explainer is all about changing that narrative. It's about arming everyone involved with clear, actionable knowledge. Okay, let's get into the science of how this all actually works. This is where male fertility gets really, really interesting and, honestly, incredibly powerful. There's a biological reason why men have this unique opportunity to make a huge, huge impact in a pretty short amount of time. Now, this right here, this is the key difference. See, women are born with all the eggs they'll ever have, and those eggs accumulate wear and tear over a lifetime. But sperm, they're made fresh, completely from scratch, in a cycle that takes about 90 days. What that means is sperm quality is ridiculously sensitive to what's happening in your body right now, which is an amazing opportunity for positive change. So, how does this production line even work? It's all controlled by this communications superhighway between the brain and the testes. Basically, the brain sends out hormones, FSH and LH, that act like little text messages, telling the testes, hey, make sperm and testosterone. The crucial thing to get is that our lifestyle choices can either keep that line clear or they can cause a ton of static, messing up those critical signals. So now that we understand the why, that awesome 90-day window, it's time to get to the what. This is the core of our playbook. 6 clear, actionable strategies you can use to really optimize that environment and support healthy sperm production. We're going to walk through each of these 6 plays one by one. We're talking about why you have to avoid external testosterone, cutting out certain toxins, dialing back inflammation, maybe adding some key supplements, understanding the real truth about how often you should be ejaculating, and finally, why it's so important to get some real data on the board. All right, this first one is a major red flag. If you take external testosterone, your brain basically thinks, oh great, we've got plenty, and it completely shuts down the signals that tell the testes to make both testosterone and sperm. This can literally bring your sperm count down to 0. So if you're trying to conceive, it's absolutely critical to avoid it. If you do have symptoms of low T, you need to talk to a doctor about fertility-sparing options. Okay, these are behaviors that directly poison the well, so to speak, the environment where sperm are made. Nicotine and alcohol, we know they're bad, but what about cannabis? Well, data shows it can interfere with those brain signals we just talked about and can lead to lower pregnancy rates, even if only the guy is using it. And heat from hot tubs and saunas? It's a real problem. The testes are outside the body for a reason, to stay cool. The good news is, the impact of these is often reversible within that 90-day cycle. Think of inflammation as the enemy of healthy cells, and that definitely includes sperm. The big 3 drivers here are chronic stress, not getting enough good sleep, and a diet full of processed junk. This is the perfect place to lean back into that team sport mentality. Cook healthy meals together, create a better sleep routine, find ways to tackle stress as a couple. These changes are a win for everybody. Now, a healthy diet is number one for sure, but let's be honest, it can be tough to get every single nutrient you need. Key antioxidants and things like Q10, zinc, and selenium have all been shown to be really helpful for sperm health. Think of a good men's multivitamin or a specific fertility supplement as a kind of insurance policy. It's there to help protect those developing sperm from damage. Okay, it's time to bust a huge myth. That old advice about saving up sperm for the big day? Total nonsense. Forget you ever heard it. Abstaining for more than 4 days is actually linked to worse sperm quality. Dr. Crawford's analogy here is perfect. It just creates a traffic jam of old, dying sperm. Frequent ejaculation, on the other hand, keeps everything fresh and flowing. This might be the single most proactive step you can take. Seriously, why wait a year to find out there's a major issue that you could have been working on from day one? A semen analysis gives you a baseline. It gives you a starting point. It's data. And having that data early on empowers you both to make smart decisions and hopefully get pregnant faster. All right, we've covered a lot of ground here. So let's bring it all together into a simple but really powerful game plan. This is all about taking control of what you actually can control. And this slide really brings it all home. Everything we've discussed, from your diet to stress to kicking bad habits, it all funnels down into this 90-day cycle. This isn't about being perfect. Nobody's perfect. It's about making healthier choices consistently over 3 months to create the best possible environment for success. So this is where our explainer ends and your journey really begins. And this isn't just a rhetorical question. It's a call to action. Take a look at this playbook and then talk to your partner. Is it cutting out the hot tub? Cooking more meals at home? Maybe setting a shared bedtime? The most powerful thing you can do right now is decide on that very first step and take it together.